Here's the latest on what I have with the Minneapolis school shooting, which occurred just a few hours ago. It involved a individual who was previously named Robert, but now went by the name Robin. That individual has been identified as the shooter. We have 2 confirmed deaths, and we have multiple injured, some critical. So I'm going to give you what we have now from what I'm getting from people on the ground and other sources. So this is pretty solid information. But what you have not seen out there, which I'm going to share in just a minute, is pieces of the manifesto, which for some reason the mainstream media has not released, but do have pieces of that manifesto here. So I'm going to show that to you and share that with you here. So suspected shooter, as you probably know by now, is Robert or Robin Westman, and that's coming straight from law enforcement. He was carrying a rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun. And court records show back in 2019, Robert Westman had their name legally changed to Robin. And this is coming from Kash Patel, FBI director. But the individual was born Robert Westman. So it appears that the child's mother, or the individual's mother, Mary Grace Westman, petitioned the court for a name change, saying that the minor child identifies as a female and wants her name to reflect that identification. And this is what the mother, Mary Grace, wrote at the time. It's also been confirmed through a Facebook post in 2021 that Mary Grace Westman was a parish secretary at the church where this occurred, and apparently she's not available for any comment at this time. Now, the shooter did post a video to YouTube and also went through the manifesto. They have the manifesto reportedly to be 100 pages and handwritten pages showing what the shooter had done, messages written on the weapons, and things like that. That they're not showing that, but I have pieces of that I'm going to share with you here right now in just about a minute. And there was what is said to be a lot of disturbing writing. I'm going to share some of the pieces of that here. A lot of people are asking, how did this individual receive the firearms? Well, this individual had no criminal record. So preliminary investigation shows that the individual obtained these firearms legally because they had no criminal record. And so that's that, with people asking, how did this individual get the guns? Search warrants are being served right now. And it looks as, once again, 2 children are deceased, multiple critical injuries, and the shooter himself took his own life at the scene. 10 victims were taken to Hennepin Healthcare, and it's 1 adult and 6 children in critical condition, and another adult and 2 children with injuries that were not considered life-threatening at this time. The police reports and eyewitness reports do indicate that the attacker was a male dressed in black, carrying a black rifle. So when people were saying, what did this individual look like? I'm going to share a photo right now. I don't know how recent this photo is, but I'm going to share a photo here. But the eyewitnesses said they reported saw a male, not a female. Suspect apparently has no relationship to the school other than the mother being the parish secretary there, retired about in 2021, and unknown right now if the suspect, the deceased suspect, attended the school at any point. We saw that was something that occurred with a previous school shooting with an individual with the same, situation. And let's see, 17 people injured total, of course. President Trump has commented on this, and he said that they are treating this as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. So the 2 children that passed away were 8 years old and 10 years old. Of course, their names have not yet been released, and obviously they are minors. Now let's get to the manifesto, which is what everyone is wondering about. So the video of the shooter was uploaded to YouTube just prior to the attack, and apparently there were scenes of the shooter at the location at the school, and that has been since taken down, of course. And I'm going to share what I shared earlier was a screenshot from that video, and here's some writing. So the video was 20 minutes long, and the shooter in the video flips through each page, over 100 pages of the manifesto, and made comments at one point repeatedly saying, "I want to kill, I want to kill, I want to kill, and I want to die." So other things that were noted, the shooter included a political reference on one of his weapons, calling for the President of the United States to die. Also in the manifesto, there's a page with a sticker on it that says "Defend Equality," which you might have seen in the image that the team will post here with a gun. Some of the magazines had writings on them, the magazines of the weapons the shooter used, including "Where is your God?" and another said "F everything you stand for." It was not the letter F, it was the word spelled out, the four-letter word spelled out. Shooter also had anti-Semitic phrases written on what appeared to be a device that he in the video referred to as gas. So we don't know if this was some kind of smoke bomb or some kind of gas for making people their CNS system gas. So we don't know what that is, but he referred to it in the video as gas. Throughout the video, the shooter was making very odd, almost like demonic sounds, and was talking with profane language about death and the plans. He had all this planned out. In the video, you could see he drew a diagram of the church showing where he planned to shoot, and at one point took out a knife and actually began stabbing the drawing of the church that he had drawn out. So clear as a disturbed individual. The shooter had made, and this is indicated in the video, wood planks that he appeared to had fashioned to use to blockade the doors of the church, to barricade the exits, and had written different phrases on these planks of wood. The shooter expressed joy in planning to die with all the kids. That was mentioned multiple times in the video. There's a lot of other things that were said in the video and pointed out. However, I'm not going to share that here. They are extremely disturbing, and I do not want to get this video taken down or removed by YouTube. However, you can imagine this individual clearly disturbed and had some very profane things to say. So that's what we have right now. If anything else comes in, I will update here on the channel. And once again, I'm sharing this because there's many of you who know my connections, know my ability to get information in somewhat of a timely manner. I'm not the first, of course, but I try not to be the last. And I just try to share what, especially in situations like this, what you may not hear in the mainstream media, what the media will likely not release. Unfortunately, with the way our media is, you guys know, there's certain things that happen and you'll hear about it for weeks on end, and they'll try to make it the biggest story on the planet. Other things happen and you hear about it for literally a news cycle, and then you never hear about it again, and it's kind of swept under the rug. And at this point, anyone with any kind of common sense knows what happens to what situations and what situations the other happens to. So because there's a lot of you who felt that this is one of those situations that was going to get really quickly swept under the rug because of the dynamics of the shooter, I'm trying to share this with you, and I'll try to share a little bit more as much as I can as we move forward. If you have any questions, comment below, and either myself or the team will try to answer the questions as quickly as possible. On a final note, you guys know that on the 221B Tactical channel, I have a lot of videos on on our socials. I try to talk about being prepared, being ready, being prepared, being ready. And this is one of those things that you hope you never, ever have to even see or deal with or be present for in any capacity. However, this is an incident where there were other people around, right? There are people on the street. There's people in the neighborhood. There's people in the vicinity. If you were one of those people, you may have had the chance to save a life. And that is why we're always pushing preparedness, always pushing be ready. Have things on you, basic things on you. Tourniquet, quick clot, whatever it might be. Have a basic first aid kit in your vehicle. If you commute to work, or you ride your bike and you have a backpack, or you have a messenger bag, have a little something in there. And this is not a plug for 221B Tactical. We don't even sell first aid kits. What we do recommend is that you have something on you that you can be an offer of help in the event you are witness to, or you are in the vicinity of a situation like this. Once again, we hope it never happens. However, if it does happen and you're there, you could potentially help save a life. So 1, get the training. 2, get the gear to keep on you. That's what we push here at 221B Tactical all the time, not just for law enforcement when you're off duty, civilians alike. Civilians have the ability to have this stuff on them, get some training. Hey, you can come right here to YouTube and get the training you need, and any little bit helps, especially in a situation where you might be able to help save the life of a child. It could mean literally life or death. So I'll just end on that note. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. And if there are any updates, I will bring them to you. Thanks a lot.